Howdy folks, I'm Keith Bowen. This is Hard Rock University. Today we have a little bit of an interesting situation. Right over here we have the top of a stope, and you can see the dump up there for more stopes and shafts, and there's a structure in here that they were mining. This was not testing. We have a decent sized dump here, and the other day when I was wandering about the hills I found something very interesting, because these stopes, it's raggedy around the tops, getting down in them on a rope would have some significant safety issues, because you tend to knock stuff down on your head. So let me wander about over here a minute. Now, this is about 50 feet away, and you can see all the iron in these dumps here. Here's another dump. No offense. What's going on here? Well, first of all, I see this little hole here, but that isn't near enough for that. So a little bit of exploration here. You find not only a pretty woman, but this little situation here. Now this, I believe, is very likely access into those workings. As you can see, it's a bit sketchy here, but can't even move this stuff. There's enormous weight on there, but at the moment it seems to be holding okay. So what I'm going to do is dig out this area here to where I can go in. Now there's spider webs there, this little very fragile thing here showing no signs of being knocked over. No tracks that I can see. We do have to be concerned about bears and mountain lions here. So I'm going to try opening this up, getting in there, seeing what I can access and what I could maybe sample. Oh, and being careful to stay away from these posts. I'm trying to get what I can out this way. That is a little bit sketchy there. I don't want to make it any sketchier. Okay, so I've got it cleaned out, and when I went in there I kind of pushed all this finer stuff off to the side, filled that gap in there. So let's go see what I found. First thing I did was I checked these timbers to make sure they're not bending from weight, and they're not. So that leads me to believe it's relatively safe to come in here. And here's, I think it's a fairly short tunnel, darn it. It's not hooking up with the other stopes. Really annoying. This must be a parallel structure. It's pretty short. Somebody's been in here doing some sampling or something, and kind of hard to tell where vein is, where host rock is. This looks like vein here. And that has more of the color of the host rock. The host rock is bedded somewhere around 60, 70 degrees, so that's host rock there. I can't tell about this little section here, because when I come over to here, we have this vein there. This again, it's bedded at like that 60 degrees, but this has got a lot of iron in it. This is seriously iron rich. This may in fact be a pack rat structure here. And this may be pack rat structure here. And that may be the actual vein that was in place, and it's just not very mineralized at this point. I don't know. It's confusing. It's not clear. But anyhow, I'll sample that and that and that. And that's the host rock structure, that laminated sedimentary. There's the structure they were following. Not much iron here. Lots of iron here. That's some kind of sap or something. And somewhere, let me see if I can find it again. Yeah, there's that kind of typical red that you see in the pack rat structures. So, I'm not sure, but I need to take quite a few samples from here. And then we can head back, and we'll probably move before dark. We got lots of time. So we may go back to Montana B and spend some time there tomorrow morning. Go to the 4 South area. Anyhow, let me get some samples here, and I'll head out again. So this is the next morning, and with the disappointment, small amount of area we could examine yesterday by opening up that tunnel. I was hoping it was going to be quite substantial. Anyhow, it did get us kind of ahead of schedule, so to speak. Our next significant task is further down this mountain here. There's another working that we need to go underground and get samples. It's going to take rope work and such. And the easiest way to get the equipment there is to go down on that road there, park in that general neighborhood, and climb up the hill. So it will take us a little while to get there. The sample off the ore dump was promising. We'll have to see what's underground now. There is access. So yesterday afternoon, what we did to just fill some time is, I don't have the saw yet, so I just smoothed out and safed up this path so that we can get to this middle decline safely. Once I get the saw up here, once it shows up in the mail, I can start safing that, and once it's safe, then I can start kind of fixing that up there. That's not as critical. It doesn't look too bad, but get it safe. We obviously have a lot of spare wood around here, to use for that. We'll sort through it, use pieces of what's useful, and pile up what isn't for later disposal or whatever. And we do have a metal detector with us at this time, but the thought of using it around here seemed more than a bit useless. To say this is a trash-rich environment would be somewhat of an understatement. It's dark rock, but I don't see the kind of red material that is stockpiled there. And then here we have it here. That looks like more looking stuff. Okay, that structure there is what I sampled primarily there and there as the black host rock. Over here, that red there is when I said red, black is kind of there, and some down here. Yellow is that, and this up in here. And it's a close-up. That's what some of that material is, kind of black and red. Looks like. Howdy folks, well here we are back up at Prospect M. It's the next day. Beautiful morning. Great view, a little breezy. I'm guessing in the 50s. Good working weather. And this dump here, I've taken the measurements so I can calculate the tonnage. And then I've taken some bulk samples. Now this has fairly coarse gold for hard rock, and so we need larger sample sizes. So there's two samples right there. The red is of the white material over here. And I don't know why they segregated it. In fact, that looks like it may be hand sorted right there, because see how all those boulders are out from the toe? They'd normally be along the toe. So I'm not sure what's going on there. They've got lichen on them, so they've been there a while. And I'm not sure why Eva didn't want to stay in these luxury accommodations I arranged, but the tinfoil hat goddess is over there, snoozing peacefully, waiting for a more civilized hour to arise. And she doesn't greet the day, she lets the day greet her. But anyhow, when she wakes up, she'll yell out. I'll go over there, cook her breakfast, and then we'll exfiltrate that direction back to civilization. In the meantime, I just don't have a whole lot to do, and I really don't want like stirring her any earlier than necessary. So I've got a borrowed metal detector, and we'll go play some fun. Those are some hot rocks that Eva found yesterday, and I may go to discriminate mode and see if I can find any artifacts there. There's a dump there from this trench. presumably above the vein. And of course I got to hold up. So all in all, I got plenty to keep me busy. Just to be thorough, I want to make sure that the section corners are where they're supposed to be, as the placer claims are supposed to be lined up with the section corner. And this is within a few tens of feet of where my GPS says it is. And the GPS is only accurate to a few tens of feet anyhow. So I think we're pretty good, and our claim stakes should be where they're supposed to be. So, found a lot of nails with a metal detector. One hot rock. You found a number of hot rocks yesterday. They're packed up in there along with all the samples. We are ready to go. Time to exfiltrate yonder. Happy prospecting and keep it safe out there.